back, everyone, to WGLNA. If you're tuning in for the first time tonight, you haven't missed too much, just the first game, as well as lots of invite mess-ups with our training. We do apologize also for the inconvenience. This is live, and this is proof of it, because we wouldn't be sitting here talking for half an hour.
As you would say, it's live as live can be.
That's right. It's live as live can be. That's right. I did used to say that all the time. I should start saying it more often. Of course, joining on set is Randall Rukil Holcomb. Randall, how are you doing tonight? You're still in the middle of day number 2, but I gotta say you're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
He loves you, man.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be loved. It's good to be loved. And I'm feeling pretty good now. Got into a groove, I think. Maybe we can have some fun here. Maybe after these guys get their match together, you know. But until then, maybe we could go over Himmelsdorf. I mean, we had plenty more to go over, and I can probably talk for a few more minutes and tell everybody all about this.
I'd love to talk about Himmelsdorf. Tell me what's going on. You mentioned one really important place, which was the tank alley. But other than that, what is there to talk about?
All right. Well, I didn't detail my last time I talked about this. I talked about the east side of the map, tank alley and the castle. But we didn't talk about the west side, where the train station is. That's actually really important for the north side. The north side can put some tanks inside a few windows in the front here. And actually, there's some great hold-down positions there. IS-3s, T-32s can use that. ICT-1s use that as a spotting position. You have great vision all the way down about here. Let's draw a little line like that.
And what's most important, I think, of that position for T1s,
like the NBA Finals trophy.
I mean, think of all the places you can retreat to, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can pull back deeper into the train station, and there's actually, I'm going to give you guys a little secret. There's actually some stairs on the east side of this train station. If you guys pay attention next time you're in a pub match, if you get a small tank, a T-52, a T1 light tank, those can actually climb up the stairs and look through some open doors to actually spot.
Wow.
Yep, spot out here.
And
spot any tanks coming.
Amazing.
Around this corner here. It's actually a really good spot, and I've seen it used before, and I like whenever I see it, I'm like, yes, they know their map. They know their way around Himmelsdorf. So aside from that, you actually have the window, and that's right next to the train station. A lot of teams that put a tank or two over in the train station will put a heavy or two, maybe an IS-3 or T-32 again in the window. And that window has a nice view on the east side of this road. But at the same time, there's a huge blind spot on the west. Tanks can approach if they know someone is sitting in that window, and they can and they can sneak up on the window and maybe jump on him in time to just focus fire him down.
Sure.
I love the terminology, sneak up on their window. It's definitely a strategy that I employ in and out of World of Tanks.
Not creepy at all.
Joining us on the set is our local Dutchman and World of Tanks M7 expert, M3 Stewart. Savvy guy.
And don't forget MTLS.
Ace tanker.
You're an amazing MTLS,
That's
man.
Right.
Yes, I
American tanker.
And my KV1 is already close to legendary. Hello, guys.
That's right. How you doing, Kev?
Doing really good. Got quite a few really funny tweets. A lot of people are like, I need some gold for the IS-3. I need some gold for this tank. I need some gold for this tank. But one tweet, guys, it really stood out.
Which one was it?
It was by Stahlhelm, who is, I think, quite new to the Twitter universe. And he said, hello, how are you? Missouri here. So I think Owen is a little unfamiliar with how Twitter normally works. I think this was one of his very first tweets, but I thought it was adorable. Hello, how are you? Rancho Cucamonga here, and enjoy that gold.
Oh, wow, Kev.
Very nice of you, Kev.
Thank you very much, Ryden. We'll probably make another appearance tonight giving gold. Congratulations, Stahlhelm. You won 2,000 gold. Make sure to communicate with Kevin. He'll probably give you the gold yourself. If you want to have your chance to win, keep tweeting at WGLNA, Facebook.com/WGLNA, or Rotterdam08, because Kev loves them Twitter followers. So, Kev, thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you later tonight.
Yep,
and
thank you.
We'll get back to talking about the game.
Really nice.
Oh, it's Chance.
Esports dog. And he's going to kick us off into, or excuse me, Ruff, I'm going to kick you off into Himmelsdorf.
All right, so Himmelsdorf will finally have taken place. Game number 1 between River of Blood and Chimera. You've heard about it. You've been teased about it. And now it's finally here. Game number 1. Rukio, let's pull up the mini-map and start looking at initial movement patterns.
Sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Now, we have what looks like a nice west side push here coming out of River of Blood, but in the south, it looks like they're going to play it really slow. Actually, it looks like they're going to send their T1s out to probe on these corners here, and at the same time try and react to that. We've got a T-34 out in the east, and some tanks repositioning while they wait for someone to come in. And actually, we're going to get lights up here in just a second as they cross over here in the west. And now Chimera knows exactly what's happening. They know the rush is coming.
Alpha spots everything really nicely positioned to deal with this west side push. We're going to see how they deal with it at this point. They're just trucking along, and River of Blood has spotted nobody else, so they know something's coming. A storm is brewing. This is the calm.
Yep. Well, M21 Sniper is actually way out of position now. He is caught out. The rest of his team is way behind him as Captain Blood and Doc Golem lead the charge. They're going to probably jump around here on him. And Captain Blood will lead, and let's see if shots get exchanged, but no. Semper Ingram is waiting around the corner, and they're going to derp right into the castle, into the church here, and try and do a cap fast like we saw last time. Stacking those IS-3s up together so they can create the maximum bounce.
Ooh, Apocalypse is way in the open here. And it looks like he will be one of the targets that they're going to go at because there's nobody else.
Yeah, he is completely exposed, and there he goes.
Woo.
That was... He probably could have hunkered down, found a good corner, and he would have probably taken a few less hits, maybe been able to trade a little more. But now we actually have M21 Sniper pretty well cut off from the rest of his team. Urban Prime is sniping over the boxes, which actually he shoots a box. They should have destroyed that at the beginning of the game. It's very important to destroy those boxes.
Ooh, Sniper does get one of the shots off against, I want to say, Captain Blood, so the timer does lengthen a little bit, but there's still only 5 seconds, well, now increasing up to 7 seconds. River of Blood making a big push. Such a quick game could end so prematurely considering the duration of how long we've had to wait.
You know,
I don't think anything happened.
I actually love where Doc Golem positioned his tank before he died. That's going to help them a lot at just putting themselves in a hold down position. Are they able to do anything else though? Wow, another tank.
Well, it could actually turn around on them because Semper Ingram is actually going to be able to use the 5100s as hull down. They're going to be forced to shoot, and well, never mind. That's the cap.
That's it. Wow.
All right.
So just like that, wow. They were just establishing a tank lead too.
Yeah, it was so close, but those cap points. I mean, they didn't get enough hits and cap fast to victory.
Well, looks like River of Blood came out with game 1 strategy similar to the previous match where they played fast cap again. So we'll see what happens for our team here in question. Chimera, they are the underdogs. What will happen in game number 2? We'll take a quick commercial break, reset our thoughts, maybe do a little bit of analysis of what happened, and we'll come back right after this break.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Clutch, and welcome back everyone to WGLNA. Game number 2 between Chimera and River of Blood is about to take place on Airfield. But before we do that, Rukio will help break down a little bit what happened in that game using our replay system.
All right, so we're going to start right at when River of Blood booked it into the church here and started stacking up their IS-3s. Their 5100 stayed a little bit behind so as not to take the brunt of the fire. They tried to sneak in there and also get some nice crossfire on as they tried to get themselves over into the same cover the IS-3s were in. I think they were originally going to try and hide behind the IS-3s, but it didn't work out. Now, we saw that one IS-3 actually get way out of position. He's out in the open with no cover, and it wasn't the smartest move. He should have been farther back, or he should have gotten with a battle buddy. Always have a battle buddy. Now, we see a T-34 and an IS-3. We've got a nice wide range of fire out of Chimera. They had some potential to do some stuff here, pull some turrets in different directions, bring in that nice crossfire, and stop the cap. But actually, we see here 5100's out of shells, makes himself into cover to protect his friends from shots, so that what they can do is they can spend more of their time shooting another IS-3. We see on the bottom right, can't read his name though. So at this point, thank you. At this point, they're still having the cap race go on, so the pressure is on to make shots hit target. Now, we have another 5100 throw himself out there, take the shots that would have otherwise stopped cap on other tanks already on the cap.
Gotcha.
And then we run out of time there.
We didn't have any points really matter.
Yeah.
And not to mention that there was still pressure on the FG line coming in from the other 2 scout tanks. So really well done by River of Blood.
Yeah, it was really well played. It was really fast,
They
actually.
screened it with their own tanks, just suiciding
Yeah.
and giving themselves a lot of cover.
Yeah.
So there was a big tank advantage at the end. Obviously, those 5100s dying, but it didn't matter.
They did a great job of recognizing that they weren't going to survive, and it was more important to allow tanks that were actually going to get shots off to stay alive. The IS-3s were going to stay consistently firing, whilst the 5100s were going to have to wait to reload. And in that time of reloading, they wouldn't have been able to actually bring the match back. It's actually a strong point for that whole IS-3 T-34 setup we saw out of Chimera. When those 5100s are out of shells, the extra 2 heavy tanks that consistently fire are still going to be putting out lots of damage. So that's one reason that 5100s in mass could actually be a problem.
Gotcha. Well, that brings us to our second battle. Again, River of Blood is up 1-0 in this match. And we're going to move over to Airfield, a map that we haven't yet seen in the qualifiers. And, of course, we have our we have Rootkill. But I first want to ask you, Frodan, talk to me a little about Airfield. Obviously, this is a map that is used in regular pubs, and that's basically where we've been playing for most of the time. But how do you like Airfield? How does it match up? Just tell me a little about it.
Airfield is kind of like the first time I had to run the mile in the gym. It was uncomfortable, but it taught me a lot about myself that I'm really bad at.
Why don't I tell you about Airfield?
I mean, the Airfield in general. I mean, the general pass by the hangars is really important, but we do see some people try to go across the beach as well as the center chokes.
Yeah.
But that's been a lot of the problems that I've been hearing about Airfield because people don't like the chokes. I mean, Ruka, what do you think about Airfield? Let's bring up the telestration and show off some of your
Exactly. You were talking
abilities.
about those choke points right here. The grinder, well named. It is the grinder because it is one of the choke points. Everyone in heavy tanks, medium tanks likes to group up at the grinder, try and push around either of 2 corners, and usually you're going to see tons of deaths there.
Yeah.
You're just going to see just mountains of metal just begin to form there. And if a team manages to actually take the grinder, they can begin putting lots of pressure. I mean, there's 2 good hills here that are raised, allow for a great field of fire, but are hard to actually get to, and taking them yourself can be pretty exposed.
Oh, I want to bring up something really cool for you, Rukil, because we have 2 Hellcats that's been picked by Chimera. How can they position themselves on Airfield?
A good position for a Hellcat. I would love to see one go right up here above the F line. There's a bush there. He can spot all the way into the enemy base here and get maybe some shots on a camper or something. At the same time, if they take those same 2 ridges, there's great fields of fire. I don't even have to draw lines to show you. It goes everywhere.
Line of sight everywhere.
And line of sight everywhere and bush cover. Bush cover so that what happens is you can shoot at enemies while being unspotted. But at the same time, maybe they send a Hellcat being so fast all the way up north here, takes positions in any of these bush cover, and from there, he's actually going to be pulling turrets around. People have to, instead of heavy tanks, for example, being in these positions and looking off to their left here, they're forced to go and look north.
Yeah.
I mean, having to change your field of view. I mean, most heavies have a slow traverse speed in their turrets, so that's a good way to get a nice crossfire in the position.
Another thing I want to really emphasize is how powerful arties are on this map. It really cuts out the amount of options your opponents have. So we didn't really talk about the southern part. We didn't talk about that huge airstrip too much. We mainly focused around that middle area, but the southern part and that top part are really cut out because arties are so powerful. It's hard to fight up. That southern part is an incline, so it's really hard to aggress up and go down that hill. And on top of that, you're just a sitting duck for arties most of the time.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I've detailed a few positions at the same time of some common arty positions. I'd expect someone C1, G1, K0, but all of them none of them actually, sorry, have a big
so the
problem
beach
getting.
is a bad position for
Oh
Blood.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But like you were talking about, the ruins and this large hill there is a great position for scouts.
Yes.
It is. It's really great, and Artie is a great tank to support that scout with because you'll send most of your heavies
That's
up
right.
north.
That's right. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to start off airfield, guys. Get ready for battle number 2.
All right, we have 10 seconds left on the clock. How will this unconventional tank composition work for Chimera, or will River of Blood continue their undefeated streak? We'll find out. I mean, there are a couple of Hellcats. There's even a Tetrarch in this tank composition. Rookkill. Anything can happen. Initial movements have already begun. What's going on?
All right. Well, just to detail this for you guys, we see already what's happening. We see some pings going out here. We see an Artie moving up, probably going to take up C1 about, and another artillery moving forward in their own base. So we're actually going to see a bunch of heavies come up here to the grinder. And from the other side, we're seeing actually a really interesting spread. Chimera, I can't tell quite what they're doing yet. They're splitting up their Hellcats. I would have thought they would have made great battle buddies, sticking together the whole map, trying to use their superior fire power, their superior fire rate to some of the other heavies to try and maybe get a few extra shots in there. But it looks like we're going to see another good push out of River of Blood. They're probably going to push right on through to the other side.
Going straight to the grinder.
Mm-hmm. Straight on through, maybe.
An inevitable clash will happen between on top of one of the chokes as the Hellcat, the Apocalypse for Team Chimera, is already trying to poke up. And in this case, you were just like you were saying, Rookkill, using the Hellcat as a scout instead of a conventional tank destroyer, which sits a little bit far back and snipes.
Tetrarch is going to go immediately over to Doc Golem.
Oh, and here come Dopper.
This is not looking
Doc.
good.
He wastes a shot, gets a track on the Tetrarch. That's 2 shots down. He should probably spend this time to reload and back off. But at the same time, oh wow, the other. That is the Tetrarch down.
Captain Blood takes down Apocalypse. That's 2 down for Chimera. Not a good start for this unusual composition. Striker does manage to fall, but that's the least of the worries right now for Chimera.
Shots going in on Taunt. What is that? Taunt Dab? Taunt Dab, and he's going to go down. Already, River of Blood is way ahead in this matchup.
Oh, Urban Prime even taking damage. The Hellcat can't even get the position. Doc Golem finishes off Urban Prime. And just like that, 3 remain with only 16 tier points left.
Yep. KV-1S isn't going to be able to take on a T-69 here. So I don't have much hope for him. He's actually running, look at this, the smaller 122 cannon for the KV-1S. It has a nice fire rate, but fires heat rounds. He's actually... He was not ready for the T-69. I'm really surprised at that. And he's going to go down in just a moment here. Burn, baby, burn.
And the only thing that he'll be seeing is dust fly as he missed a point-blank shot. Well played by Doc Golem. Again, M21 sniper, 1 of 2 remaining. And there is the death. Alpha 92, the last person remaining for Chimera.
That M7 Priest isn't going to be able to do much of anything against these heavy tanks.
Well, he can pray, and that's about it.
That he can. It's only a matter of time now. This poor Alpha is going to try and defend himself, but for the amount of points to spend on a Priest, I don't think it's worth it. There are better artillery pieces they could have picked, but I think Chimera is limited in tank choice. They have a few newer players. And actually that ram from Doc Golem not doing a whole lot of damage. Surprised.
Oh, the Priest has
they're just
more
playing with,
durability.
poor Alpha.
Oh no, just give him the lunch money already. Oh, now this at this point, River of Blood doing a mini victory dance. Keep in mind, this is still only map number 2.
Oh, big sandwich.
But Group Hug has her a little late to the party. But just like that, River of Blood goes up 2-0, 5-0 on the night.
Man.
And looking to end it
really
quick.
good. River of Blood is playing very aggressively, and they're getting great results out of playing so aggressively.
Yeah. I feel like it looks like from this last game that there's just such a big skill gap between the 2 teams. River of Blood is just showcasing a clinic. They can go into positions that are, you know, really, I would say not safe, and still come out with positive equity. That's something that's so
I would have expected what they were doing wouldn't have turned out quite so well, except for the teams they're fighting are just doing exactly what they need to for River of Blood to win.
Yeah.
I mean, they held back in the way they did on Himmelsdorf, and I mean that worked out all right, but they still didn't do what needed to be done in order to stop the cap. This one, they brought a tank lineup that I wouldn't have recommended. Really smaller tanks and not playing them as efficiently to really take advantage of the spread of tanks you had there.
And I don't even know if they even exercised all their tier points with that tank composition. Chimera has to go back to the drawing board. We'll see. Let's take a look at what just happened, the action that commenced. You can see immediately the second Hellcat being taken out from a high ground position. Not a good spot if you're trying to look for great places in pub games.
KV1S just doesn't know what to do here. I mean, he was really confused with the correct move. But of course, you know, all it takes is just one single T-69 to absolutely crush. And he was outplayed here. I mean, there's not much you can do if you're the KV1S.
He must not have been paying attention because he was looking at that corner. T-69 came around, and he didn't move his turret until that T-69 was almost behind him. So really not paying attention there. On the other side of the map, there we go, losing a few more tanks. And it just, I didn't feel like Chimera was very organized at all. They were all spread out. We have tanks out in the open. And at the same time, River of Blood is highly organized, moving in, systematically destroying every single tank, and at the end, even taking the time to do a little victory dance to the leftover M7 Priest.
This is just cruel, man.
It's cruel and unusual punishment. I would not wish that kind of thing upon anybody.
Yep, so looks like Chimera completely outclassed. We already have some picks immediately for map number 3, which will be on Ruinberg. Let's take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, game number 3 between Chimera and River of Blood. This is the WGLANA qualifiers. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, everyone, to WGLNA qualifiers. We're in the round of 32. For those of you tuning in for the first time tonight, I also want to remind people that we're giving away gold. Gold for everybody. I got gold, too.
Me too.
Yes, well.
It's like we're Oprah, and we're just giving out tons and tons of bees.
Gold for you.
Bees.
And gold for me, obviously, because Oprah's rich. We're giving away gold if you tweet at us at WGLNA as well as Facebook.com/WGLNA. You have an opportunity to win through a message on those social media sites. You also can get some gold tonight by tweeting at Rotterdam08. He is our in-house gold decider for the night, and he'll be picking one of your tweets, and one of you can be a lucky winner of 2,000 gold and a week of premium.
Ruinberg will be the next map of choice set by Chimera. We're going to go into it and check it out. What's up with these players?
Well, it looks like we've got a really weird lineup. I'm really confused.
Well, I don't blame you, Rukio. Well, we're going to have a very interesting tank composition.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and break it down real quick, if we can hold even down the tab button and explain it. We have 3 IS-3s, a Ferdinand, a T-29, a Tier 7 tank, and the L-Tractor, as well as a T-1 for Chimera. Pretty standard for the opposing team, River of Blood. A couple of AMX 5100s, 3 IS-3s, and a couple T-1s. As we bring up the mini-map, why don't you break it down here, Rukio?
All right. It looks like River of Blood's going to try and go and take the outside here, this Delta Village, along with the F-line road here. We're seeing a T1 scout coming up, but he's probably going to go down in a moment. At the same time, Chimera was
right in the open, right in the open.
No. And here he
and he got ammo rack. I don't think he would have died. No, just kidding.
No,
just kidding.
You silly goose.
All right, well, it looks like we see the immediate strategy again from River of Blood, 3 down the middle. And, well, I mean, how is Chimera going to respond? What should Chimera be doing right now, Rukio?
Well, M21 Sniper is actually going to go out to the city, but with the positions they're in, they're waiting for River of Blood to come up. I think they're just afraid. M21 Sniper is actually out in the open here, out alone, cut off, and we're seeing some IS-3s from River of Blood get lit. They're going to start pushing forward. They know M21 Sniper is out of position, and they're going to try and take advantage of this. M21 Sniper, on the other hand, is going to keep going around and maybe even get to flank River of Blood. Maybe let's see what River of Blood does, but they have to pick a direction now because it's only a matter of time before Chimera is going to have River of Blood surrounded.
Wow. Striker was able to cross in a place where I thought he should have gotten just blown up to some extent. There's a lot of tanks, 2 IS-3s, T-29, and Ferdinand just waiting for him, but they didn't get one single shot. Instead, my goodness, it's actually Alpha 92 that's going to go down here.
Apocalypse 73 gets taken out here, and it's really easy. Just like that, River of Blood is taking down 3 members of Chimera. Sniper trying to pinch on Captain Blood as well as Savage. Apocalypse also trying to make a play, but Striker's got his tail. Striker able to get some good ricochets, has complete health and a big HP advantage for River of Blood, not to mention 7 on 4. Oh, hold those stakes, 7 on 3.
Striker's doing a really good job of using this fence as cover. And at the same time, Chimera isn't holding their shots at all. They're just shooting the cover down. They really want him down. Lapsa is coming around behind. We're going to see perma spots on the remaining tanks of Chimera, and Doppler's going to unload his entire clip right into this Ferdinand.
Sniper's under a lot of pressure. Captain Blood and Savage G trying to take out one of the IS-3s, one of the remaining strong tanks here in the lineup of Chimera. That is 6 down. Urban Prime, the last member of Chimera, and River of Blood looks like they'll take a 3-0 victory on their path to the round of 16.
Really great job out of River of Blood tonight. We've seen them get pretty much a perfect score.
Yes, absolutely a perfect score. They are 6-0 today.
Yeah, only losing a few tanks each match. A few matches were a little bit close for them, little hairy.
You know, they were so confident going into this last battle that they just picked their tanks and they said, you can pick whatever you want. You can hard counter us as you will. Wasn't enough still.
Yeah. Chimera just not ready, not prepared, and River of Blood was seriously ready for this.
Yes.
I mean,
Chimera could learn from this and come back in the qualifier that will be happening 2 weeks from now as well. Guys, it's only the first qualifier we're doing, so Chimera, if you are watching this on stream delay after your loss, don't worry, you have another opportunity because only 4 will qualify, and in our second qualifier, another 4 will join the invited 8 for our WGLNA League. Let's take a quick commercial break and come back when we return, maybe some analysis of the previous series, as well as getting ready for our 3rd match of the night. It will be the winner between Vultures and Last Orchestra versus Lemming Mafia. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere. You're watching WGLNA.